Hey, Ryan Black here, and if you're watching this, is because you want to know what the best way to text a girl is so you can meet her up for a date. And if you're here, hopefully you've watched all the previous videos in this series. If you haven't, go back and do that. There'll be links available below because, to be honest, I can give you the greatest texting stuff in the world, but if you're not in the right mindset, if you haven't approached her in the right way to begin with, if you haven't really had a great conversation and got to know her, if you haven't gotten the number in the right way, which is what's covered in all the videos before this, then it's not really going to matter. So please go back, watch all of those. If you're here because you've watched all those and you can't wait for the next one, fantastic, now we're here. So hopefully when you got that number, you did what I said in the previous video and you really made it because of something, right? You made it a logical consequence of the conversation and connection that you'd had before, and that's great. So here's some ways to make sure that it's as unlikely as possible that she's actually going to flake, as likely as possible she's going to see you again. So one, when we are getting the number, we want to save it, we want to nickname her something, right? So that can be in the first name field or the last name field, and it's always good to show her, to make a joke about what you're nicknaming her as you're meeting her for the first time. Why that's so cool is when you text her later, you can use that nickname and you'll immediately stand out from the rest of the guys who's texting her. Really, really useful. It's also playful and fun and everything else. Number two, in her last name field, as you're walking away, you're going to go ahead and as you're saving the number, save all the stuff that you guys talked about, all the things that you found out about her, right? So the goal was to find 2, 3, hopefully 5 things about her, right? So that's where those go, not in some note somewhere that you're going to forget, but in her last name, because you probably don't have her last name yet. And that's useful because if she rings you or if you're in a back and forth over text or WhatsApp, you immediately have kind of a top line like, oh yes, this was the girl, yes, I remember that. And if she calls you and you pick up and you're like, oh hey, how's it going? So how was that class you were on your way to? Or how's the world of finance treating you? And you already right there back to that conversation, and she's like, oh, this guy is interested in me. He does listen to me. He cares about what I do and what I think and stuff. So very, very easy to do because again, if you're going around and you're still kind of doing that thing where you're going and doing a lot of approaches in a day and Saturday and Sunday and getting a lot of numbers, you can forget which girl it was. And if two or three girls all have a very common name and they're in your phone, you have like 3 Sarahs, which one's which. So always useful to remember to put in those 5 things, as much as you know about her, as much as you got out of her, right into that last name field. Boom, save. Now, huge thing, this has been on all kinds of TV shows and films. It's like, oh, you can't text too quickly, you can't call too quickly, you have to wait 2 days, you have to wait 3 days. And guys have this internal struggle about it. I remember I had it, right? When I was struggling and I was going out to nightclubs and getting, trying to get numbers and all this stuff, I would get a number, I would go home and I would look at it and I'd be like, cool, and I would just I wouldn't do nothing. I wouldn't call, I wouldn't text because I had no idea what to do. I was like, oh, I don't want to be needy, but I don't want to be I don't want to, and I would be so confused about how long to wait and what to actually say that I just did nothing. And hopefully it helps remembering getting the number on the basis of seeing her again, on the basis of a date, on the basis of the stuff that you connected with. It makes it so much easier because it's like, oh, you can just start texting about one of those things. Me, I was going around just getting numbers for the sake of it without really having a connection or a conversation, and so it was even more difficult to know what to do with it. So hopefully you're doing that, you get the number. So my answer is, Sasha taught me this, Sasha's answer to this, text as soon as possible. Literally as soon as possible. Have a text that's chucking something out, that's a bit playful, that's fun, that's more funny or more sort of tongue-in-cheek, more quirky, more different, more interesting, more impactful, the sooner you send it. Okay? And that's going to really help you because then what you do is, as you're walking away, you send some little joke or whatever it is, and she gets it immediately. And she looks and she's like, oh, it's that guy. Now she has your number, she knows it's definitely you, because you just met her, and she puts a little smile on her face, and she connects the emotion, the positive emotion, that little smile, to receiving a text from you, and that's beautiful. And then you can just leave it. She might reply to that first one. Again, it's always, never be asking a question. So when I say it, text immediately, your first text is not, do you want to meet up? It has nothing to do with meeting up. It's just a silly joke, offhand thing, random comment, something where you're not asking her for a reply. But if you get a reply, she's definitely really interested. If you don't get a reply, it doesn't matter, it doesn't mean anything. And you can wait. If this is your own city, you live there, you have essentially infinite time, you can just leave it. You can leave it a day. All right, simple as that. Text 2, we're going to start to chuck out some ideas. So based on what you spoke about, based on what you know about her, you have some ideas of some kinds of things that she likes. The mistake that guys make is they put all of this commitment and all of this stuff into one message. So they go, hey, do you want to get a drink on Saturday? All right, that'll be something like their next text. And that's really bad for a lot of reasons. Number one, Saturdays she may say yes to, and then later just flake on you because her friends are like, oh, we're going out to do, to Jane's party, and she'll forget all about you. So just don't put yourself in that position where she has to make the choice between her friends and a whole Saturday night, or you, this guy she just met. As nice as you are, as wonderful as the conversation might have been. Okay, you can't really expect that. So we're going to go into how we set up those dates. Suggesting a drink, again, it's very boring. It's very like the kind of thing she would have heard before, right? And we're always trying to do the opposite of what every other guy is doing. So how do we do this? What's a better way? A better way is to suggest a choice of two things that are different and interesting, right? It's descriptive, a little bit different. So instead of would you like to get a drink or dinner, just suggest something like, would you like to sample a 2014 Pinot Grigio and mix that with some tapas and fun conversation, right? Something just a little bit more descriptive. It's fundamentally the same thing. It's something to eat and drink, but I'm just being descriptive about it, playful with it. Again, only replace those things, like don't say the same thing I just said. Replace them with things you like to do, right? I like really good coffee, so I might suggest something like that, but I'll always combine it with something else because not everybody likes coffee, not everybody drinks wine, not everybody eats meat. So a suggestion of two things hedges your bets and make sure that she'll probably like at least one of them. Yeah, so she'll say, oh, how about, like I might suggest vegan chocolate cake and some of the best coffee in London sometime next week. All right, so I'm going to take a second text. How about option 1 and option 2 sometime next week? Right, you're leaving it open, but you're suggesting those two things. So ideally, the response you get is, "Oh yeah, that sounds great," or you can also get, "No, I don't drink coffee, but chocolate cake sounds fun," or "I don't like chocolate, but tea would be okay." Right, so she'll come back to you with a better suggestion or saying yes or choosing one of the two. Right, much better. So she's made that little micro commitment to the next step. So then again, you want to wait at least as long as it took her to reply to you to reply back. But again, if you just live in the town and you met her, say Sunday, and you shot out that text Monday, you can send the next one Tuesday. Like it's fine. Again, you hopefully you're busy, you're doing other things, you've got a life, you've got a business or a job, you've got friends, you've got other girls that you're texting. So, you shouldn't be there like replying immediately as soon as she gets back to you. So the next text, right? So we're on text 3 now, is again going a little bit further, hammering down a bit more specific. So she says yes to vegan cake, no to coffee. Like cool. And then we suggest a choice of 2 now, but 2 days. So, okay, cool, is Wednesday or Thursday better? So again, we're giving her the choice rather than going, okay, how about Friday? And she's like, no. And you're like, okay, how about Saturday? No, can't do that either. Okay, what about next week, Wednesday? Silence. Yeah, so we give her the choice, and always weekdays for the reasons I made clear. Most girls aren't doing a hell of a lot, most people aren't doing a hell of a lot on Monday or Tuesday night, right? So those are great date days. So is Monday or Tuesday better, right? That's simple. And hopefully, again, she gets back to us with like, yeah, Tuesday sounds good. Fantastic. So now again, we wait at least as long as she took to reply to us, if not longer the next day. Go, cool. And then we do this. We go, see you on Tuesday at this specific time in this place and do this thing. So what do I mean? So we hammer down the day, which she said that she likes. We say the place that we want to meet. And the place that you should meet, if you can, not always possible, but if you can, don't put yourself in a position where you have to wait outside in the cold. And if she's late, like every minute that she's late, you're like dying of hypothermia. All right, not a good situation. So if you can, again, as I mentioned, I like coffee. If I set up to meet at a cafe, then it's great because I'm just going to be there anyway. Right? I'm just going to be in the cafe, and I might have my laptop with me or whatever, be doing some work, enjoying my nice coffee, chatting to the staff that I know. And so if she's half an hour late, it's really not going to affect me. Right? It's not going to be this big deal. I'm not going to be, I have no reason to really be angry about it. I'll just sit there. I'll read, the newest issue of Caffeine magazine, or the paper, chat to people, have my nice coffee, do some work. And when she shows up, she shows up. It's not a big deal. Yeah. So try and put yourself in that position versus waiting outside somewhere. And and don't be, especially for your first date, don't put yourself in a position where you're making reservations at a specific time at a really fancy place, or having booking movie tickets that start at a specific time. Either movies and dinners are really, really, really bad first dates for many, many reasons that I hope you realize. But things like it puts a lot of pressure on her. She's wondering, do I want to spend 2 hours over dinner with this guy? What if it's weird? And films give you no opportunity to actually interact with her and get to know her and have a conversation because you're busy watching the film. So, a quick snack, a drink, something like that, and then off to something else is a great idea. So, so what do I mean? So meet me at this place at this specific time. So never 8 p.m., always 8:01 p.m. or 7:59 or 7:58. Yeah. Again, why does that matter? Because nobody invites people out at 7:59. So again, you're just sticking out. You're doing something that's a little bit different, and she'll remember you. Right? She'll look at that, and it will create an emotional impact, whereas 8 p.m. has no emotional impact. She's more likely to remember it and therefore not accidentally flake on you. Because the thing is, even if she likes you, even if it was kind of cool, even if she's looking forward to it, something else comes up, her friends invite her out, she forgets about it, and she ends up flaking, and you text her, and you're like, hey, what happened, you didn't make it? Most of the time, she's just going to flake. And it's not because she doesn't like you, it's because she feels embarrassed about it, and it's awkward now, and she's just going to be like, I don't want to have to deal with this. So the more I can do to make sure she's definitely going to remember, so that she comes, the best. So 7:59, and do this thing. So what do I mean? So for me, I'll often say, meet me at this place, 7:59, and wear high heels because I'm tall. And I'm supplying a reason, so it makes it more reasonable. But I'm doing that because it's something that I like. I'd like her to, dress up for me for the date and look nice. And it's also saying, when you arrive on this date and when we're going on dates together, you have to play part of it. Like, you have to bring something to the table. This is not a one-way street. This is not one of those dynamics where you're going to show up, I'm going to buy you, everything. I'm going to sit down and entertain you and provide you pleasant conversation with no tension whatsoever. I'm going to agree with everything you say, and then you just have to sit there, look pretty, and at some point after date 5 or whatever, if you feel like it, you might let me have sex with you. Yeah, that's not the dynamic we want. So the best way to kind of kickstart that off and to start that is to just be like, even at the very first date, like, you have to do something, you have to bring something. It doesn't have to, again, please don't copy exactly what I'm saying, because there's a reason for all of these things that I'm doing. So it might be wear something blue because it's my favorite color. Wear wear shoes you're comfortable walking in, because we're going to grab our thing to go and we're going to take you on an awesome walk, right? That could be your date, right? If it's summer, nice weather, we're like, hey, let's meet at this, how about a green juice and an awesome walk around one of my favorite, most beautiful areas of New York or wherever you live, right? So, so then that would make sense to be like, meet me at, Union Square at 3:02, and wear comfortable shoes because we're going to be walking around and I want to show you cool stuff and I don't want you to be uncomfortable, right? It's a totally valid reason. So that's basically our final text. Text number 4 or something, before hopefully she gets back and says, that sounds great. And I know it sounds weird, and it's like, well, it's a bit weird, but just from sending the text as I described it, that last one, I've received answers such as, with an invitation like that, which girl could refuse? What girl could refuse, right? And a little smiley face, and it was, creates a really nice dynamic. So that's pretty much your texting. That's all you really need, like pretty much one text a day from the time you meet her to the time you set the date, and then go on the date. And there's there's troubleshooting and various things you can do. You can re-engage and things like that. I don't want to get into complicated stuff because, again, each one of these bits is just the main thing. I go into hours of theory from all of these when you do the course. But one easy, simple thing for troubleshooting: if it's been a while, she was interested in the date, but she hadn't got back to you when you said, meet me at this place this time and do this, or you arranged it for like a week after or 2 weeks after, so she might have forgot and you haven't really confirmed it. What's cool is, because you've said 7:59, a really weak confirmation, which just sucks, is just like, oh, are you still coming tomorrow, right? It's really sucky. So what you can do is, instead of saying, are you coming tomorrow, or are you coming on Tuesday, go, oh, hey, I've had to move around my schedule and stuff came up. I'm going to need to push things forward slightly to 7:58. I'm going to have to push things back slightly from 8:01 to 8:02. Right, and it's a little joke and it's playful, but it's a really cool, playful way of just, her responding, being like, oh yeah, haha, that's fine. And then she's confirmed the date without you having to say, oh, are you still coming? So that's a really simple text date pattern, minimum investment, minimum effort required to get that date. So go grab those numbers, get out, start using that stuff. Again, comment below, let me know if it's working. Let me know if you have ideas for better texts and things like that. Tell me why what I said is maybe wrong and you've got something better. So comment below, and if you want the next videos and the stuff I'm going to be doing about day game, about all kinds of stuff, mindsets, then please hit subscribe. See you soon.